Good day, Gritens. Welcome back for another lesson. Today we are going to focus on language and comprehension. Please take note that however I only explain one part of the work, there are more activities at the end of the slideshow that you need to complete. Please complete all the activities in your language book. Remember to give a heading as well as a page number before you start doing the specific activity. For our first activity, we are going to be doing Concord. This can be found on page 62 of your textbook. Remember, Concord means that there needs to be an agreement between your subject and your verb in a sentence. If your subject was singular, then your verb also needs to take on a singular form of verb. If your subject was plural, then your verb needs to take on the plural form of verb. Remember, the subject is the person or the thing in the sentence doing something, whereas your verb is your doing word. In our first example, you will see that our subject was singular. Therefore, the verb had to take on the singular form of verb. The rainbow poisons him. Rainbow only refers to one rainbow. Therefore, your verb takes on an S at the end, showing us that we are working with a singular form of verb. If, however, our subject changed to a plural, for instance rainbows, then our verb would only have read poison, because we have a subject that's more than one. So then our sentence would have read, the rainbows poison him. For our second example, we are going to work with a singular noun which has been made up of more than one person or thing. Because these people or things make up a unit, we say that our subject stays singular. The choir sings at church. A choir is made up of more than one person, but because it forms a unit, we say that it is a singular subject. Therefore, our verb takes on the singular form of verb, which becomes sings. In our third example, we work with words which take on a singular form. These words include everyone, everybody, no one, nobody. They refer to someone or something in general. Therefore, you don't necessarily know if it's more than one person or thing. In this case, because they refer to someone or something in general, it stays singular, and therefore your verb also stays singular. For our fourth example, we are now working with a noun or a pronoun in the plural form. Remember what I've said to you before. When your noun or pronoun becomes plural, your verb must also take on the plural form of verb. In our example, the rivers were filled. Rivers refer to more than one river. Therefore, our verb takes on a plural form of verb. Something else that you need to remember when you work with Concord is that there needs to be an agreement between your noun and your pronoun. If you know the gender of your noun, your pronoun must relate to that specific gender. But if you don't know the gender of your noun, you normally use the word it to replace the noun with and still relate to the noun. For instance, the sheep comes out and it rests on the rocks. You didn't know whether the sheep was male or female. Therefore, you refer to it in general as an it. But if you know the gender of your noun, you need to use a pronoun that relates to that specific noun. In the example you can see, my aunt lives with us. Aunt in this case was feminine. Therefore, you had to make use of a feminine pronoun, which in this case becomes she. So now you can see in the whole example, my aunt lives with us. She tells stories. Your pronoun relates to your noun. Therefore, there's an agreement between them. For your activity, you are going to do activity 4 on pages 62 to 63. Please follow the instructions and remember to underline your correct answer. The other activities that I want you to do is a comprehension activity on pages 59 to 60. Read through the story given to you, then answer the questions at activity 2. When you are done with that, you are going to do a language-focused activity which focuses on style and register. In this case, it's all about making use of the correct style and register of language for certain situations. For instance, when you need to use formal language, you can't go and use slang in the language as the register now becomes wrong. For this activity, you read the short article on page 66 and then answer the questions given to you by Activity 1. For your last activity, you are going to do visual literacy. This is about reading and viewing cartoons. At the top of page 67, you will see some pointers given to you that you need to use when you work with visual literacy. Please read through them and then you answer the questions by Activity 2 given to you on pages 67 and 68. Have fun!